Welcome to Da Vinci's Discourse, where the minds of today's most innovative entrepreneurs are unveiled and explored. And my name is Kyle Campbell, your guide on this journey into the depths of the entrepreneurial psyche. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the minds of the greats. This is Da Vinci's Discourse.
Perfect, man. I'm excited. So let's get right into it. Noah, dude, awesome to have you here, brother. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, and we'll jump into the fascinating stuff you're working on right now because it's awesome. What I'm curious about, dude, if somebody were to ask you who you are, what would you tell them at a bar, coffee shop, whatever? Who are you, dude?
I'm just an insignificant speck of nothingness on a celestial playa in the
I love
grand
it,
scheme of
man.
things.
I love it. You're speaking my language.
Now, but that being said, I am here for a moment, a fleeting moment, and in this beautiful dream, myself and some co-founders are creating something really valuable in this world, which is Starbot. But I am a 49-year-old emergency medicine physician for the last 20 years. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've made multiple businesses. I've worked with private equity before. I made a live event company that unfortunately got destroyed by COVID. You can imagine live events weren't that popular during that time. And then, I got into the Web3 digital asset space in 2016 or so, saw my Bitcoin stack go up and down, and Ethereum, started buying those when Ethereum was $50, Bitcoin was, $700, $600.
Wow.
And, watched my stack come and go. I didn't really understand it until probably after COVID or so. Unfortunately, I was a part of Voyager, so I lost over 20 Bitcoin with Voyager. Oof. And what I realized was that the market needed a new solution that was self-custody. And I saw the rise of trading bots, and over $9 billion have been put through Telegram trading bots since last summer. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. People are switching over from the Coinbases and MetaMask to Telegram trading bots. And so we have made now what is the most intuitive, simple to use, but has all of the benefits of all the kind of highfalutin bells and whistles, banana bots and unibots and maestros. And what we've made is really easy for people to use and has all the benefits without snipers or copy trading or the complex things that people really don't need for the most part. So that's me in a nutshell. I love rock climbing. I've been doing that for 30 years. I go to Burning Man. I've got a 12-year-old. And like I said, I'm an ER doc. I've been on TV quite a bit for American Ninja Warrior. I did 7 seasons. I was the ninja doc on, so you can Google me, and it's pretty funny, actually, if you want a good laugh.
If you want a good laugh, I love it, man. You got an eclectic ass background. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I like the vibes, dude. You got the hippie vibes, the barefoot on the beach kind of a feel to you. I love it, dude.
Thank you.
I love it.
Right.
So
I appreciate that.
My pleasure, man. I want to get into how you look at crypto as a whole, and more so where you see it going. So let's take it back a step. And how did you get into it in 2016? You said, or when Bitcoin was like $700, man. What was the story there?
Yeah, I was working a night shift in the ER, and one of my buddies from American Ninja Warrior reached out to me, and he said, "Hey, dude, you should buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum." And I had been seeing it all along, and I thought, oh, this magic internet money. And I was like, well, why would this guy, reach out? And he told me about it, and we had a little talk because I wasn't seeing patients right then. It was kind of a lull in the night shift. And I was like, maybe I just, put a little bit of money, $50, $100 into it. And I started to read about it, and I started to think about it, and really it was Bitcoin that captured me. And I was like, holy crap, this is like, I've always owned some gold and silver, and I was like, this is like the actual invention of money. Everything else up to this point has been a proxy. Dollars are melting, and they're going to zero. Every great empire has failed because their currency has failed. I'm like, this is a money that's outside of the control of the state, that has a mathematically definable set number, which is very low, 21 million. I mean, there's like 60 million millionaires. There's not enough millionaires to have one Bitcoin each. It started to dawn on me that, like, if this hasn't been hacked in, like, 8 years or whatever it had been, or 7 years, then maybe I should like just get some just in case. And so I did that, and I rode the bull up, and I was like, holy cow, I'm rich. And I kept buying more. And then I sold a bunch as it was coming down because I was like, I was wrong. This is BS. This is a big Ponzi. It's a big scam. And then, it started to slowly make sense. But that's how I got into it. And I took my lickings. I was part of that, that second or third cycle, I forget, but yeah, it was a lot of education. I wish I still had all the Bitcoin that I had when I started, but now, starting as of 3 or 4 years ago, I will never sell my Bitcoin ever again. I lost a bunch of Bitcoin, unfortunately, in Voyager, and had to learn another, important, valuable lesson after losing like over 20 Bitcoin just with them. So, yeah, and I saw opportunity in the space. But for me, the way I see crypto, to answer that question for you, is all roads lead to Bitcoin. I'm 90% Bitcoin. In my digital asset exposure, I've got real estate, I've got gold and silver. I have a decent kind of diversification. I've got equities, I've got retirement accounts, but Bitcoin is where almost all of my money goes now, any savings. And then I have 10% because I am just a gambler, adrenaline junkie, and I love all the innovation that's happening in the space. And so I decided to innovate with a really good team, and we have got over 25 years of Web3 experience. And for me, I think that it's important to keep letting everyone know that anything that's not Bitcoin could be here for just a moment, and it's not something that there's going to be good things and bad things, but I think 99% of it'll be gone, like the .com era. So I'm trying to create something that I think can be here for a long time and help people in the end get more Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah, I love it, dude. Were you in that 2018 crash when it, like at the end of, I think it was the end of 2018? I was in Thailand at the time. I had just visited it. I hadn't really gotten into it at all. I just visited like a conference for it, just a small little thing at a coffee shop where there was like 16, 17 couple speakers. And that's when I heard about it the first time. And at that point, it was at like the very peak at 2018, I think. December 2018, it was at like 30 grand or 25 grand or something. And
Right.
I think in January, February, it crashed down to like 7 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, shit, good thing I didn't do what all those guys were telling me to do. I'd be screwed.
I remember that. I mean, I remember the COVID crash, and it went, I think it wicked down to like 3K. I don't think anybody got it there, but I bought a ton right there.
Oh no!
At like 6K, 5K.
Oh
6K,
nice!
7K.
Oh, at the bottom, you mean?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I actually bought a bunch of gold and silver also, just in case. But and I still have gold and silver, but I wish it was Bitcoin.
Where's your gold and silver at, man? I'll come dig that shit up for you. I'll take it off your hands. I'll convert it into Bitcoin for you.
It's in a safe. It's in a safe somewhere.
Somewhere, some mysterious location, undisclosed. I love it.
It's not as easy to carry around as this, and this is a lot more valuable.
No kidding, eh? Hold on to that with your life, man. Somebody will chop your finger off. Oh God. So I want to get into it's such a fascinating space. Can I ask, and this might be an asshole of a question, and
No.
feel free not to answer it. You got it at 6 grand, you said you bought a shit ton of it, and you wrote it up to how much? I mean, like in general, how much have you made off of Bitcoin since, let's say, 2016? If it's an actual question, don't worry about it. But I'm curious.
I haven't made anything because I lost my Bitcoin in Voyager, a ton of it. I'm an open book. All these are fair questions. I mean, at one point I was up millions of dollars, in fiat terms. But when you really start to get Bitcoin, you realize that you don't sell your Bitcoin unless you have an emergency or some big life thing and you need to use the money right now. But other than that, you don't sell Bitcoin. You buy it, you put it away, you wait till it's $1 million a coin. And then if you want to go have a nice steak dinner, maybe you borrow against it or something. But I've made zero money because I've never sold I used to trade around back in the teens, and I lost and made money there trading. I used to trade options with equities and stuff, but one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin to me. So I just keep increasing my stack, and I don't really, if I'm not like a Lambo kind of guy. Like I want to go on a climbing trip and spend time with my boy and my woman and stuff. And so like it's all about enjoying life. And I already have the money to do that. I'm still a doctor. I still practice medicine. And now as an entrepreneur, having created Starbot, I'm really, really interested in growing Starbot. So I'm spending 80 hours a week doing that. And the money that I make out of Starbot and that the community makes, I hope goes towards buying more Bitcoin.
Ah, okay, interesting, man. So let's talk about Starbot a bit, because I'm familiar slightly with the whole automated trading sector where it makes micro trades. You make a quarter here, and even if it goes down, you can still profit because of it's possible, right? It's possible to still profit even against the loss of the value of the coin if it drops, which is fascinating because and I love automation in general. I got 3 businesses. They're all completely automated by AI, actually.
Oh,
And
good for you. Yeah.
Which is freaking sweet. So you're talking to the automation guy. I love anything where it can automate some profit. I'm in, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but Starbot the tools are automated, but this is a trading tool like TD Ameritrade or Schwab, where you go in to buy a stock.
Okay.
So it doesn't make trades for you. It's not automated in that way. There will be some automation coming, which is really fascinating with AI. However, Starbot is a Telegram trading bot. Soon we'll have our own app, but we've been working on it for about 8 months. Like I said, the number of users of Telegram trading bots is just going parabolic. And the reason is because first, it's extremely easy to use. Second, you have access to all tokens. So all these new tokens that launch before the hedge funds get in them and they go like 1,000x or 100x or 1,000x, we can get in them now and front run the hedge funds when these things are really small. And you get in, and so you see the research done on crypto Twitter. People recommend these great teams like let's say PAL, PAAL. It's like a $500 million market cap. I got into it with Starbot when it was like, a couple $100,000 market cap. And so it's gone, it's gone like hundreds of X's, right? Like, so you put in $1,000, it becomes $100,000. So that's part of the allure of these trading bots is you can trade any token. Right now, Starbot is only ERC20, so Ethereum tokens. But unlike Coinbase or these others where you wait for them to add a token like on an exchange. First, this is self-custody. So you can have your wallet on MetaMask and Starbot and Ledger, and nobody can touch it. It's your keys. We can't touch the keys. We don't custody any funds. All we provide is Starbot, which is a trading bot. It operates on private Ethereum nodes, which also protects our users from MEV attacks. Which are front-running bots that go in and do the kind of arbitrage that you were talking about to win money. When you do that, you're taking it from other people by front-running their trade because these bots are so fast.
Yeah, you're middlemaning the trade. Exactly, right?
Exactly. So we stay away from that because, frankly, for me, I think it's unethical a little bit, but it is, trading is like poker or something. You can do whatever you do to get ahead. That's how people kind of view it, but we really want to provide like that new age Schwab, TD Ameritrade, trading experience where people are trading crypto or digital assets instead of stocks. And so the bot is, and I haven't even gotten to the best part about it yet, but the best part is we're completely democratizing the revenue. So the bot makes money by charging 1% interest. 1% fee on every trade. So every trade in, every trade out. If you trade $1,000 in, $10 comes off and goes into the Starbot pool. That 1% fee that we charge, that comes back to the community. and we share 75% of the revenue with token holders. So that means you could make a ton of passive revenue just by holding the Starbot token, and we just airdrop you Ethereum. Our revenue share goes live in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So everybody can really win with the Starbot ecosystem. On top of that, we offer a 50% revenue split with referrals. So it's like this crazy viral sticky ecosystem where everybody, it's all that great crypto phrase, we all gonna make it, WAGMI or whatever. And, we all gonna make it. We're all in this together. We're adopting a whole new asset class. We're growing the network together. And if you're part of the Starbot ecosystem, then everybody gets to trade with Starbot. And the more volume that we put through Starbot, the more everybody makes. So it's like if everybody owned a piece of TD Ameritrade when they make money on every single trade, in your stock account. Only they share a dividend, which is like 1 or 2% or something. Some of these stocks of publicly traded companies share dividends, but we share 75% of the revenue with token holders, pro rata, which means depending on how much you have. If you have 1% of the tokens,
right? That's what I was wondering exactly. So it's in relation with how much you got, right? So that makes sense. Okay, interesting model. Interesting model you have, man. You found a way to kind of revolutionize the way that you can go about investing in crypto and tapping into the pool of shared revenue that you're talking about. But from your point of view, the model, the actual business model that you put together is a fascinating model. Did you make that up? Did you came up with the model yourself, as opposed to, is it a common practice in the trade, is what I mean?
Well, I came up with a lot of it, but I've got 2 co-founders who are very smart and have been in the space. One is our dev, and he's just like mind-blowingly good. So he codes all this stuff up. And then the other is our CCO, the chief comms officer, and he does our website and all the writing and Twitter and stuff. And and so they helped to come up with this. And we've all been putting in 80 hours a week for the last year. And we literally just launched the token about 50 days ago. So it's like it's extremely, extremely early. And the token is only like a $1.4 million market cap. It's a 14-cent token. There's only 10 million tokens. It's twice as scarce as Bitcoin. So our token, and it's all out there circulated. We do have a team allocation, which is locked and vested. But yeah, I mean, it's like obvious to me that we are all going to make it, and let's share the revenue. So you asked if it was common out there. Revenue share is starting to become part of the new meta for this cycle. There's AI narratives, there's all these things. Tokens are sharing, but a lot of tokens share 20% of the revenue, or have like a 10 to 20% referral. Like the other bots all have 10 to 20% referrals. We just decided to be like so generous just to get everybody involved. Because with Voyager, when Voyager went down, and a lot of the Voyagers now are becoming a part of this. When Voyager went down, we all lost so much because it was a centralized exchange and not your keys, not your cheese, it's not your money. And we all had to learn a hard lesson. And people lost millions and millions of dollars. And even, people who didn't have that much lost almost everything. So now we're making it again. And, I've got a little bit of a Robin Hood syndrome. Like, I want everybody to win. I don't want to make $100 million and then have everybody else not make money. I would rather make $1 million for me and then have everybody else make $1 million also. So like that way everybody wins, and that like just brings more joy and happiness to the world. And that's part of, I believe, the ethos of crypto in general is, together we're all going to make it. So we are extremely generous with that 75% revenue share. And man, it's crazy. If we even achieve 1/10 of what the market leader, BananaBot, what they're doing in volume, they're doing $40 million of trading volume a day. If we do 1/10 of that, then somebody who owns 2% of our tokens, they get paid 25 grand a month in passive revenue. It's so generous. And with the token being so cheap right now, people can get in and start getting their positions. The token's going to be more expensive when it's $50 million market cap, or $100 million market cap, which, hopefully happens in 6 to 12 months. So right now at $1.4 million market cap, Star token it's very, very cheap.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the podcast, and I want to let you know that I've got a free book that you can get if you want to tap into more of these resources, and you can get that for free at kylesbook.com. Back to the podcast.
Interesting. Okay, so I love it, man. And we'll get into the platform a little bit, how to get into it. What I'm curious about is the fundamentals, because the audience typically is an entrepreneurial audience. And so where I'm thinking that we can go with this is where to invest the funds that we earn from the business profits safely into crypto, if that's something that somebody wants to do. So let's take it back and look at the fundamentals of it. Let's say that we've got 100K a year profit on an average, let's say 5-employee business profit, and that goes that's net. So where do we start in terms of being able to put it into the crypto market? We'll take it right back to fundamentals. Where do you recommend that we start, and then we can kind of walk through step by step the things to look for and how to optimize?
Okay, so let me ask you this, Kyle. Are we talking about a business with 100K profit, thinking about where to invest this money in general across all asset classes, or just in that's their digital asset allocation?
Just digital asset allocation. I mean, what came to mind was just an average business making 100K profit, or maybe even an individual with a few employees, maybe even offshore employees, and it has income coming in and wants to be able to safely invest that in a way that you can hopefully get the biggest return for your buck. Let's put that scenario.
Great question. First and foremost, I am not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
So take everything I say as, education and with a grain of salt. Second, I would say that the whole digital asset space is risky. So the way we mitigate risk with trading is by position sizing. Okay. So when it comes to digital asset trading, and I'm not talking Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin's in its own class. And personally, if I had 100K profit, if I was going to recommend to friends or family who weren't deep into this field, I would say maybe put 5K or 10K into Bitcoin, take a couple $1,000s, put it into digital assets, because it's risky. It's, unless you really know what you're doing. So to be honest and intellectually honest, it would be hard to recommend someone to take all their 100K profit and put it into crypto. That would probably be dumb for most people, unless you were like a hedge fund, you really know what you're doing trading, or you've got 5 to 10 years experience and you really are taking your own personal responsibility. So that's first. Okay, but now let's say that you're very risky. Your business is making $1 million a year, and you want to take 100K and be risky with it and put it into crypto. Okay.
Right, so 10%, let's say. So it's even 10%. Even on the 100K, say 10K for that, $1 million.
Say 10K.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I think that's because really, there's a lot of risk out there right now. But they say diversification is a way of keeping your wealth. But really, if you want to make a lot of money, you have to take risk in this world. It's not easy. But so with that, let's say that 10K or that 100K, whatever we're talking about, that 10% that you want to be a bit more risky with, I would put quite a bit of it just into Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is going to do very well. And Starbot, our company, you can't trade Bitcoin. It's only Ethereum token. So what I'm telling you is good, honest advice to save your money and keep your money. It doesn't help our business. Our business is for crypto traders. And so if you want to be, if you want to get into that potential of a few years back, I put $400 into a token called Seek VR. And it was at like 0.00000 cents, right? I put $400 in. I looked at my MetaMask one day and it was $400,000. Okay. It was a 1,000x trade. And then it slowly went down, and I didn't get out at $400,000, but I probably ended up getting out with $250,000. I put it all into Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I ended up losing on Voyager. But suffice it to say, those trades are possible with Starbot, and it's all about getting into those trades. So now that was a long-winded answer to say be very careful and mitigate risk with position sizing. But if you want to take a little bit and trade with it, then if you open up a Telegram account, you can walk through it all by going to www.starbot.pro, STARBOT.pro. Okay. And that we have documents there. We've got walkthrough videos. We've got tutorials. It's actually pretty easy. You just download Telegram, which is a huge app like Twitter, and you search for Starbot Probot, and it will generate a wallet for you, just like MetaMask does. It's an Ethereum wallet. And then you have to transfer some Ethereum over from Coinbase. Again, we've got tutorials, walkthroughs. The whole thing takes 5 minutes. I mean, it's very easy. It's very intuitive. And then once you're in there, you could buy some Starbot. There's a button that says buy Starbot. Or unlike the stock market where every ticker is its own ticker. So like Apple is like AAPL. There are no other tickers that are AAPL. Apple is the only one. In crypto trading, in digital asset trading, people can use the same ticker for tokens. So for example, our star, and this gets confusing, but our star token is STAR. Believe it or not, there's another star token. But so the difference is when you're trading with crypto, you have to use the number. There's an account number, a code called a contract address. And that long contract address, that's the unique identifier for each digital asset, each crypto, okay? And all you have to do is when you get one of those from like a trading room or a call room or from crypto Twitter, or, we have like a room in Starbot where we're making recommendations for further research, where we find good teams that are very low market cap, very cheap, very cheap tokens. Like our token's only 14 cents right now. If it goes to $100 or something, it's going to be a huge return. Tokens like that, and I don't know what's going to happen with any token. Any token could fail and go to zero. There's a lot of risk in this space. But, any token like that, you can then paste that contract address into Starbot, and it opens up the trade terminal, and then it's typical, buy and sell. And you can use AI to do custom trades, custom buys and sells. And Kyle, this is the best thing. This is part of the automation. Soon, our AI will be able to do, like if I were to write something like buy $650, stop loss 20%, sell 50%.
English. You just type it out. Oh, see, that's cool.
You just type it out, and the AI,
and
you don't even have to type buy. You can type B. 1000T would be tokens. And you can do tokens or Ethereum, and the AI figures it out. And then you go to sleep, and in the middle of the night, it waits for a dip in the price. It buys then, it waits for the price to go up, it sells then. Perfect world, right? It could go to zero. But and so in that way, we're creating like an AI-driven trading bot that helps all of our traders to maximize their profits when using proper strategies. There's still a lot of education people need to use. But so that's what I would do with $10,000. I would take a small amount of it that I'm willing to gamble, that I don't care if I lose it. I would take some of it, I would put it in Bitcoin. I would invest the rest probably in my own company for marketing and all those other, but this is like after all that. And then the rest, yeah, maybe I would take into Starbot and I would play around with $1,000 trading and trying to find the next 1000x, because it's really fun when you get 1000x. Let me tell you, you're like, holy, it's mind blowing, to turn $100 into $100,000. I wish everybody the opportunity to experience that, and you can experience that in digital trading, in crypto. It's like buying a penny stock or something. And there's a lot of scams, and North Korea is pumping out scams every day. So you got to be very careful. You lose money.
North Korea that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fascinating, man. I mean, a lot of people are making a lot of money. $400 into 400K, you sold at 250K. That's a hell of a lot of profit. And
That was
what's
a good
funny is you
trade.
probably regret it. There's probably a lot of pain that you didn't sell the 400K, even though you made 250K, you know?
It's hard to get
It's
it
we
right. Yeah,
hate,
I was like,
right?
why didn't I do it? Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
pain of loss is greater than the gain of success, which is
Yeah,
an
that's
interesting
right. That's
psychological
exactly right.
fact, right? Yeah, I use it in marketing all the time, leaning on the negatives because it's more it's influential as opposed to the benefits a lot of the time. Depends on the audience, depends on the situation, but yeah,
You're
the
you're so
negatives
you're
can
so right.
highlight. It's interesting.
We have a trading group for Starbot. So if you join the Starbot Telegram group, you can join our trading group if you have a certain number of star tokens. Not that many. And then when you join the trading group, we are making like suggestions. So I think like last week somebody suggested Helga, and somebody suggested Wolf, and so we put in $200 into those. They both went up like 10x. So they went up 10 times. So our $200 became $2,000, and that's really exciting. But then all of a sudden, somebody accidentally talked about a token, and that token was a scam. And we put in $200, and we all lost $200, and it was a scam token. So it's funny because just like you just said there, that losing that $200 to the scam token, we were all like, oh no, this is horrible. But we had just made $1,800 in this other trade. So like you're right, the pain of loss is much greater than the happiness with success. And so we experience that. But it's really fun being part of a community. The Starbot community is growing really quickly, and the token price has been going up and up. It's been exciting to see, and it's got a long way to go.
Interesting, man. Maybe we should mention Starbot one more time. What's the address? What's the website?
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
a couple of times here, eh?
you can figure out everything you need by going to www.starbot.pro, and there's a great little sizzle video. It has the contract address of our token, which you can get on MetaMask and Uniswap, but the best way to buy our token is through Starbot itself. But if you go to Telegram and you type in Starbot Pro Bot, then it'll bring up Starbot on Ethereum, which is our trading platform. If you've never done it before, go through our YouTube channel and our walkthrough videos, which you can get to through our website. So I would just recommend everybody goes to starbot.pro to begin their journey. And, look, you can reach out to me. I'm always available. The other co-founders are in the Telegram chat, on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm Noah Kaufman, MD, NOAHKAUFMAN, just one F, one N, MD. And I've got quite a few followers. But yeah, reach out to me anytime or email me, noah@starbot.pro, and I'll do a one-on-one walkthrough. We do a lot of Google Meets and onboard traders and show them how to do it. I share my screen and go through some trades. And here's the best part. You're going to love this, Kyle. I forgot to mention this. We have a demo bot. And so you can go in through our website, you can find the demo bot. We give you free, well, they're fake, but 2 Ethereum, which is a lot of money right now. And you can just start trading with the demo bot, and it's all fake. It's all play money. You don't actually have an account or anything. And you just trade with it, and you can get used to Starbot just by trading by trading with the demo bot. And we're going to end up having competitions, free competitions with the demo bot, so that people can trade and make 5 ETH, 10 ETH cash first prizes. And so, the demo bot is probably a great way to start also. And you can find that also through our website, www.starbot.pro.
Jesus Christ. Maybe we should throw another plug in. I don't think we've thrown enough in. Oh man, that's
right.
funny as hell.
We need a little jingle or something. No, I appreciate you letting us, get on here. And I've got an AMA a little bit later today with one of our partners. We're partnering with a ton of different bots and interesting projects. It's a lot of fun.
So let's talk about the how do you know if it's a scam token or not? Because like we'll get into the 10%
Yes,
is
great
the
question.
riskier, like 10% of the investment funds is it can go into crypto, and then 10% of that can go into the riskier trades because you want to hit the 400 bucks and the 400 grand, you know, you got to take some risk for that. So there's something to that. So how do you know if it's a good token to buy? It's an interesting question, and you know, it's there's a lot to it. But if you were to answer that question, how would you answer it?
I would answer it like this. First, there are some very good influencers on Twitter who do a lot of research, and YouTube. So you could go into YouTube and type in next 1000x coin, and you'll get like 100 ideas for great coin. That's where I would start, is I would start listening to influencers, because partly the influencer has to do a lot of research to make sure the coin is not a scam. Because if an influencer puts out a scam, first, they're going to lose all their influence and nobody's going to listen to them. And second, they're probably going to get sued or something like that, you know? So I would go and listen to an influencer. I would join a trading room with people who research the stuff and who have had success and know what they're doing. Join our trading room, join another trading room, doesn't matter. From there are other bots. We have a trading bot. So Starbot, it helps you buy and sell and keep a portfolio of crypto assets. Okay. However, there are other bots on Telegram like TTF, our partner TTF. Over 25,000 users are using TTF. And what TTF is if you put in the contract address, which you can find on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap.com. If you put in the contract address, TTF, which is this great project, spits out all this information. It's kind of like Yahoo Finance. It spits out all this information, but instead of price to earnings ratio and price to share and all these metrics for a company, since these aren't companies, these are tokens, it prints out the liquidity. It prints out if there are suspicious functions in the contract, because these are all smart contracts based on Ethereum or another chain. And we'll be adding chains to Starbot as we go. It says if it's a honeypot. A honeypot, excuse me, a honeypot is a scam where if you put money into a token, the contract doesn't allow any selling. And so the money goes in and it
no
sticks.
shit. Wow.
That's what these like, and legitimately, there are scammers out there who are horrible, who are morally bereft, who just take money. They're basically thieves. And so they make these fake contracts and they pump them out. So TTF bot, which we have access to, if you join our group, you can just put in a contact track address and it pulls up, you know, all this information. And it says, this is suspicious. We think this is a scam. Now, 95% of the time, that's a good way to get rid of most scams. Okay. And so almost everybody uses TTF. And so we partnered with them as well. So there's a little button on the TTF bot that says Starbot, and you can press that, and it opens up whatever you're looking at in Starbot, ready to trade. So it's really slick. Yeah, it's very slick.
Okay,
so that's probably, those are probably the best ways to avoid scams.
Great, dude. Yeah, you gave us the resources. Thank you for that. Let me play devil's advocate, because I'm curious. And I mentioned the trading bots, the micro trades, you know, and you said that was unethical. So I want to get into that a little bit. And I've got no qualms either way. Honestly, to be honest with you, and I'll be straight with you, man. I invest in real estate. I haven't touched the crypto game.
Smart.
I'm trying. Well, maybe smart, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
Smart.
I haven't
Real
been able to buy a house for $400 and sell it for $400K yet. So it's, you know, it depends. But there's less risk, right?
I don't want to illiquid.
Yeah, exactly.
But tax advantaged.
Yeah.
No, real estate is one of the best ways you can go if you have money. But if you need to get money, you know, we're all up against the wall these days. It's not like you can buy real estate without any money. So it's
right. REITs, I mean, you can get REITs, but it's a different game. But dude, I want to play devil's advocate really quickly, because I'm curious what your opinion on this is. What do you say to somebody who's looking at either doing a trading bot, like I talked about with the micro trades, 25 cents, and maybe at the end of the day, you get like, I don't know, $40 because of plus the appreciation of the token, maybe. Or because I've got some friends who are into that kind of thing. Or would you, because obviously you're against that. So what's your argument for being against that if there is an opportunity to reduce risk with it?
I'm not against it. personally, ethically don't want to take people's money through arbitrage of or front running, or that's available. And I don't have a problem. It's like hunting. I don't go hunting. I don't like to kill things. You can hunt. Somebody else can hunt. It's fine. Like I'm not, I'm a judge, not lest ye be judged kind of guy. So I don't have a problem with it. I have a personal, that's not how I want to build my business. I don't want to build a business that sells cigarettes. Okay. Right. I want to build something that helps people in the world, that helps them to get a $400 token that becomes a $400,000 token. Okay. Or have that possibility. You're never going to see that with micro arbitraging trade. What I would say is there's no free lunch. Okay. Every time the market has something that is taking advantage, the market gets flooded with people trying to do that, and you lose the advantage. So I would try it if you want with some of the risk money that you have, not too much. And if you can take, $40 and turn it into $400 consistently, forget about Starbot. Go do that. Start your machine. No, I'm serious. Like, I would rather do that personally. I'm building Starbot because it's like a trading platform, just like TD Ameritrade or Schwab or Coinbase. Only it's self-custody. We don't have your private keys or anything.
Right. Yeah.
So what I would say is, if that worked, if these little automated trading bots actually work really well, everybody would be doing them. It would work for stocks. It would work, and maybe it does work for some people. But I would bet that it mostly doesn't work. And if you told me, well, no, I have experience, it does work, I would say, okay, what's the link? I'll check it out. I'll put a couple $100 in it. Like I don't want to build that business myself. But if there's a way to have that little micro arbitrage, I think some people do build bots like that. But I think that it's like those bots cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and any bot that's widely available to everybody to use is going to lose its advantage immediately by people using it. Okay. Because so many bots can do that. But I would go and try, like, it's good to experiment and learn. It's really easy to lose money in this world. And, but if one of those bots are making money, I'm all for it. I'm not against it. It's part of the market. As long as it's legal, everything has to be legal. So you got to pay your taxes. You got to, everything has to be legal and follow the regulatory laws that are out there, whatever they are. Now, we have an international company. We aren't even based in the US. But for any company based in the US, make sure that they're following US regulations, if not whatever international, make sure you have proper attorneys and stuff. This is all an aside to say that if you can find something that works to make you money in this day and age, we're all up against the wall. Heck, make money. If you can become a pro poker player, you don't need Starbot. You probably don't need Bitcoin, but I think that it's worth a look. We don't do that kind of automated trading, but we do have AI, and our trading is just going to get better and better. And we do protect people from rug pulls. We actually even reimburse people if they get front run. So we have like a pretty incredible system there. But if you can use a little bot like you're talking about, I say go for it. Learn a lesson. If it doesn't work, if it does work, then that's lightning in a bottle. Because what I would say is, if it works, why isn't everybody doing it? Money doesn't grow on trees. Like, it takes skill to make money no matter what you do. There is almost no quick get rich quick scheme. So we offer a trading bot. You still have to decide when to buy, hopefully low, and sell, hopefully high. And it's harder than you think. So people can lose money with Starbot.
Sure. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah,
dude.
you can. Yeah, or TD Ameritrade, or or Coinbase. You can lose a lot of money. So tell me how it works, and I'll throw in a couple $100 with you.
All right, man. I don't know myself. The way I see it is I put in some play money and watch it play out over time, or to calculate based on
There you go.
previous earnings and make a
I,
prediction. But again,
yeah,
dude, I got no fucking idea when it comes to this stuff because, like I said, not into the game yet.
that's the
And
smartest way to approach this stuff. Is
well,
I have
maybe,
no,
right?
I have no idea, and
Yeah.
I need to learn, and I'm going to be humble, and I'm not going to risk too much. But there are guys using Telegram trading bots who put $1 million into a trade, and then within 6 hours are taking out $3.8 million. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
that is
There's
fucking nuts. But
big
that's a
whales,
big that you gotta have big fucking cojones to be able to do that, dude. You're
big
risking it
cojones.
because just as easily it could go down to 250K. It's like
Right.
so
Well,
you
and
got to know what you're
we've got,
doing for that kind of a thing. Right? I
well,
like the way
yeah,
you look at risk management. The 10% of the 10% can go into a riskier trade. I like that.
yeah,
But let me ask
yeah,
you this:
position
in the
sizing.
4 minutes that we have left here, give me because I'm so clueless on this. What's a question that I should be asking if I were more intelligent or knowledgeable on the subject, as opposed to what I'm not asking? So, what's a good question that would be able to provide value for people watching, an entrepreneur watching, to be
Yeah,
more
yeah,
knowledgeable in
yeah,
crypto?
absolutely. Why don't I just use Coinbase? Why would I trust your small project?
Yeah,
How do I know that Starbot's not a scam?
right.
That I would ask that. Everything. I wouldn't trust anybody. The whole thing about crypto and digital assets is don't trust, verify. So, and those are tough questions. Obviously you want to have doxed teams. Like anybody can look me up, Noah Kaufman, MD, and come find me and break my legs if I took their money. So an honest project usually has people who are out in the open, have nothing to hide. We publish, well, we're starting revenue share in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're going to publish everything transparently on Dune Analytics. You can see all the money that comes in, all the money that goes back out to our community. We don't have access to private keys. Nobody does. But I would do your research, and what I would want to ask is, okay, how do I know this isn't a scam? And I would assume just about everything is a scam until you talk to other people who have used it and you do your due diligence, especially in the crypto space. So that's number 1, 2, and 3 is I would assume just about everything is a scam. And I've been scammed numerous times. And it's just like, they got me again. Because they're bad people in the space, and it's hard to hold them accountable because there's a lot of privacy in crypto. You can hide behind a computer, make a wallet, steal people's money, and nobody knows who you are.
And they're sophisticated, man. They're sophisticated as all hell. It's like, right. It's like the old scams that people used to run. You can look at the 3-card Monty as a very basic one, or the longer cons,
There's always
which
been
is more so what this is. Because you look at the
right.
the old long cons. I mean, they would be able to, like, 1905, they'd be able to rip people off for hundreds of thousands of dollars. With the wire, for example, there's all kinds of fascinating ways. And so people are repurposing the old scams with crypto right now. And so it's unbelievable. So it's hard to find them. Like you said, even you get ripped off with it, and
it's hard to find good
stuff,
projects and good companies. And honestly, I think it's like 5% of the digital asset space. So I would walk into it eyes wide open. It would be like if you're downtown in a city that's dangerous. I would be hyper aware. If you're ever curious about, this part of why we made Starbot is MetaMask and Uniswap. You have to connect wallets. You've got to sign agreements that you connect the wallet. And then somebody can drain your wallet. On Starbot, we don't connect any wallets to anything. So you're never going to be asked, can you connect the wallet? Starbot will never ask you for private keys, for a code, for anything like that. And so, you need a good way to protect your private keys and protect your seed phrase. But reach out to me, reach out to others. If you ever are worried something is a scam, stay away from it. Don't do it, or ask somebody else who knows. There's never a reason to rush. So always take your time and always ask someone, or ask in a trading group, or ask me. I mean, reach out to me and I'll let you know. I've been scammed enough to know one when I see one. So, and even I get, hoodwinked every now and then.
It happens, man. Yeah. So, dude, I like it. It's fascinating. The whole topic is incredibly deep, and it's engaging, right? It's stimulating, it's exciting because there's big money to be made and lost, and so you got to be careful with it. But I think the lesson is, at the end of the day, trust somebody who has something to lose by giving you advice, because if they
really, really well said.
Right. And so you got to be careful. I still look at Kevin O'Leary with what was it? MTX, ATX?
Yeah, FTX.
FTX. Yeah. So still you got to be careful with it. But I think that's the best way to go. Trust somebody who's got something to lose by.
And I would add to that, though, Ernest Hemingway said, the way to know if you can trust a man is to trust him. So sometimes you got to take a little leap of faith. You can't make money without a little risk in this world, whether you're doing a handshake real estate deal or you're getting into crypto. So you need a little bit of trust. I'm telling you can trust Starbot, but you got to go find out on yourself and talk to some of our users. Yeah. But, it's really trust somebody who's got a lot to lose by, but who also has a lot to win by creating a valuable, something of value in the world. Albert Einstein said, seek not to make money, but seek to create value in the world. And, he's one of our smartest. And so that's what we're trying to do with Starbot.
Dude, Starbot.pro. Thank you so much, Noah, for being here, man. I appreciate you, and I'll keep in touch with you, man. I want to contribute in some way because I feel like I can feel your passion behind it. So
thank you, Kyle.
Over the next few days, man. We'll keep in touch. All right.
Yeah, let's get you started with a Starbot.
There we go. 10% of the 10%. We'll see what happens, baby. Why not? All right, Noah. I'll talk with you soon, man. Thank you.
Great to meet you, brother.
Great to meet you too, man. Ciao.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that podcast episode. And if you want to get a free copy of my book, go to kylesbook.com and you can get a copy there. I'll talk with you soon.